Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. I am back with the second half of my top 10 favorite characters from film and TV. If you didn't see part one, you can check it out right here. You can go watch it and then come back to this. But let's not waste any more time. You know what we're here for. The top five, my top five favorite characters from film and TV, and we're kicking off at number 5 with a great one played by such an incredibly intense actor. This is where I really first found out about this actor with such a complex and deep character for all 7 seasons that he played him on the amazing FX series The Shield. He was just a character you either loved or you hated or you loved to hate, depending on the situation. I really don't think there was a character that you really did, that you didn't truly like, maybe with the exception of Dani, but we're not talking about her. Coming in at number 5, played by the incomparable Walton Goggins, Shane Vendrell from The Shield. Now, I could have picked a whole lot of characters that Walton Goggins has played over the years. I could have picked Boyd Crowder from Justified. We talked about Raylan Givens in the first video. I could have even talked about Venus Van Dam, who he played in Sons of Anarchy. Even though it was a bit role, she got a little bigger role in the final 2 seasons. But we're going to go with Shane Vendrell for this one. The character of Shane Vendrell was such a complex character because he played a cop who didn't always do the right thing, much like Vic Mackey, which is, again, another character I could have put on this list because Michael Chiklis played him so well. But there was just something about Shane. He was belligerent. He was kind of racist. But the way Walton Goggins played him, for every season of The Shield, he was either a cop just doing bad things to get by, or he was just the out-and-out villain in later seasons. And you saw him coming to loggerheads with Vic a lot of the times during those last few seasons. It was just, Walton Goggins did such an amazing job playing him that it's a character that still sticks out in my mind. You think of Walton Goggins, you think of Shane Vendrell, and I think that's going to be something that he can look back on in years to come and just be proud of that role, what he did with it, especially when you have that whole story arc with Lem's character, he thinking that he was going to flip on the strike team, and what happened to Lem during that season. It was just, and what Shane did, it was an unforgivable act that he really chickened out of telling Vic about. But he was played so well. Walton Goggins, I've gone on record saying that if I ever get the opportunity to make a movie of Shade Falling, I want Walton Goggins to play Lewis King, a character in the novel. He would just do that character justice with how I wrote him. I wrote him like a Walton Goggins character. So wonderful, wonderful actor, and a great role in a great, great show. Another great actress great actor in a great series, and just a fantastic character who I loved from the very moment that she came on screen with her witty banter with Morgan. I talked about her a lot, especially during the Criminal Minds top 5 episodes. I always say it, she is my favorite character from the show. She is a fantastic character played by a fantastic and wonderful actress in Kirsten Vangsness. Coming in at number 4, Penelope Garcia from Criminal Minds. Penelope Garcia is a true light in the world of the darkness of BAU. She brings so much passion, energy, goodwill to the role every time you see her on screen. She doesn't go out in the field often with the BAU, but when she does, it is something special. Normally she's just confined to her area, her office, where she just is a master hacker of every degree. I especially when it comes to Garcia-centered episodes, ones you should definitely see are like Penelope, which is just a fantastic episode, and The Black Queen. I've said time and time again that any Garcia-centered episode is a great episode because more spotlight time for Garcia because we only see her sparingly through any other episodes. It's just like, hey, baby girl. And you have that wonderful banter with Morgan when he was on the show. But when you see her and she takes center stage, it is just something to behold because she is played so well by Kirsten Vangsness. She just puts everything into the role and has just this chemistry that leaps off at you, this charisma as well. It just leaps off the screen. And you can tell she has fun playing the role. And I cannot wait for the revival series on Paramount Plus. Nearly everybody's coming back. From what I've heard, Matthew Gray Gubler is not returning, which is unfortunate because I love the character of Reed. I wonder how they're going to write him out in the series. I hope they don't Gideon him. But nearly everyone is returning. Patrick Brewster, Joe Mantegna, Adam Rodriguez, AJ Cook is returning as well, and so is Kristen Vangsness, especially with how it's going to be interesting to see how they bring her back given what happened at the end of season 15. So I'll have to wait and see when this new series rolls around. The first season is going to be It's going to be 10 episodes. It was the same length of the last season, so we'll see what happens. Coming in at number 3 is the only animated character on this list, and now that we're getting into the top 3, I had a hell of a time trying to figure out what my top 3 was. I had everybody from Lieutenant Aldo Rain to Garcia figured out. 10-4. Fine, fantastic. The top 3 could have gone either way between the next 3. So I finally sat down, worked it all out. This is my top 3. It could fluctuate between now and next week. I don't know. But coming in at number 3 is the only animated character on this list because this character is just the epitome of erratic, eccentric, and just funny too in a series that can get really, really dark at times. She is from my favorite anime of all time, Cowboy Bebop, coming in at number 3, Radical Edward. From the very first time we meet Edward in the episode Jamming with Edward to her very last appearance in Hard Luck Woman, Ed just jumps out at the screen at you. She is erratic. She is eccentric. She has her own way of talking. She has her own way of walking, where everyone else is just kind of like, Spike plays it cool when he's walking. Edward does somersaults while she's walking. She'll flail her arms about. She has a unique way of talking and is a expert level hacker at the age of 13. She develops a bond with the data corgi Ein, which I don't think anybody saw coming, especially in her final episode, Hard Luck Woman. Just when she asks when Ed asks Ein to come with her, it is one of my favorite moments. Beautifully written and beautifully voice acted by the voice actress who did Edward's voice, and that part gets me every time. Every time I watch Hard Luck Woman, it is just emotional, moving because of the story surrounding it, with Edward finding her father after so long and just deciding to go out on her own from the crew of the Bebop. I do think they kind of did Edward dirty in the live action Netflix series because I really wanted to see what that actress was going to do with her if there was going to be a second season, because I'm not going to be one of those people who sits here and judge a character on 40 seconds of screen time. I said that in my Cowboy Bebop review. I think I said that in the what happened with Cowboy Bebop, or what went wrong, Cowboy Bebop. I'm not going to judge a character on 40 seconds of screen time. I just refuse to. You could say so much about John Cho's portrayal of Spike, Danielle Pineda's portrayal of Fate, and Mustafa Shakir's portrayal of Jet. or Alex Hassel's characterization of Vicious. Lord knows I did in both those videos. I praised what needed to be praised, and I criticized what needed to be criticized, honestly. But I'm not going to do that with the actress who played Ed. 40 seconds was not long enough for me to say, oh, that was great, or oh, that sucked. No. But again, I think they did her dirty with the live action series. What could have been, I don't know. But I will always love the original series version of Edward. She was just amazing, fantastic, funny, caring. She cared about everyone on the Bebop, Spike, Jet, Faye, Ein, everyone. She had a big heart, big brain, and was just a wonderful, wonderful character. Coming in at number 2, oh boy, the top 3 was so hard to pick for me, but I had to eventually pick it. And coming in at number 2 was a great character in a show of fantastic characters. When you have characters like Jax Teller, Clay Morrow, Gemma Teller, Tara Knowles, just all these fantastic characters, but one stood out above all the rest. And it's awesome because he's played by a Saskatoon boy. Coming in at number 2, portrayed by the great Kim Coates, Tig Traeger from Sons of Anarchy. There was a reason why Tig was Clay's sergeant at arms. He does the shit that nobody else would. Like, you look at what happened at the end of season 1 with Opie and his deceased wife Donna. What happened there, and the guilt that followed Tig through that. You go on to later seasons with what happened with the leader of the Niners, Leroy. What happened with him and his Damon Pope's daughter, what he did to Tig's daughter, and just the heartbreaking emotion that Tig had. And Kim Coates drew some very real emotion from that. And I think he even went to a therapist afterwards, after filming that scene. It was just so well done. Tig was a character I didn't think would make it to the end of the series. So when and he has one of the best love stories. We talked about Venus Van Dam earlier in this video. He has one of the best love stories with Venus, culminating from season 5, I think it was, when they first met. But when one of the last images you see from the series is my light went out, fantastic. You see a distraught Tig after everything that happened with Jax, being consoled by Venus. It was just a beautiful moment, played by, honestly and truthfully, a beautiful actor in Kim Coates. And like I said, he's from Saskatoon, so that makes him immediately awesome, if you ask me. Kim Coates has gone on to have a great career. He had a wonderful career beforehand. Like, I knew him from playing the villain Ron Santos, I think his name was, in CSI Miami. He was a foil to Horatio Caine, and he did a great job in that. But I think this is what put him on the map. And now he's been in the movie Goon. I think he was also in the sequel. I haven't seen the sequel yet. And he was starring in the series Bad Blood, which is based on a true story of a mafia family out of Montreal. And he's bringing Tig back. I think it was for this season of Mayans. Don't quote me on that. But Tig is coming back in one way or another. So I can't wait to see what he does. Tig, fantastic character from the very beginning. Here it is, my number 1 favorite character from film and TV, from one of my all-time favorite movies, based on the real-life Southern gentleman, portrayed wonderfully by Val Kilmer. I'm not a huge Val Kilmer fan, honestly and truthfully. I kind of rank him in there with Tom Cruise. I mean, they were both in Top Gun together. But even Tom Cruise has a movie or two that I absolutely enjoy. In fact, Last Samurai is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. This one is also on my list. Where is it? Oh no, it's further down on the list, sorry. But it is one of my all-time favorite movies, one of my all-time favorite characters. No, my all-time favorite character if he's coming in at number 1. I'm rambling here because I got to charge my light here. Coming in at number one, portrayed by Val Kilmer wonderfully from the movie Tombstone, Doc Holliday. Based on the real-life historical character of John Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer puts in a magnificent performance as the gunslinger, just portraying him as this southern gentleman, this heavy drinker who's suffering from tuberculosis, who goes to Tombstone, Arizona, hoping that the dry climate will relieve his tuberculosis, and running into his old friend Wyatt Earp while there. Just the interactions between Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer in this movie are fantastic. You just feel that energy and chemistry between the two of them. They just put in their all. And again, I could have put Wyatt Earp in on this list as well, but I thought that Doc was the better character overall. Like, yeah, it was Wyatt Earp's story, but I mean, everybody had a hand in that one. But the way Val Kilmer portrayed him, just his mannerisms and his southern drawl, just the look of Doc Holliday was so iconic in the movie, and every line he had was just gold. I especially love the line where he's Thomas Hayden Church's character of Billy Clanton. They're in the saloon, and Doc's playing the piano, and he's like, "Hey, is that old Dog Tray? That's like old Dog Tray." "Pardon?" "You know, Stephen Stinkin' Foster." "Oh, this has to be a Natra." "What?" You know, Frederick Chopin. Just, I loved everything about that character. He was just effortless and cool, and just, he had you with every line he spoke. Like, one of his first times you see him on screen, when he's having that card game with Frank Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's brother. "Why, Ed Bailey." Just, he was wonderful. And it's funny too, because I kind of quoted a line of his from my best man speech at Ryder Pride's wedding this past June. We're still in summer, but this past June, when talking about the friendship between Ryder and I called Ryder the Wyatt Earp to my Doc Holliday. I don't think I'm as cool or as good as a gambler as he is, but he has a line in the movie where he's talking about, it's after the big shootout with Curly Bill Broseph, and Wyatt's just taking him out, and is it Creek? Yeah, I think it's Creek who's talking with Wyatt Earp, asking why he's doing this, when you should be in bed, because he's still very, very sick with TB at this point. And he just looks at Creek and goes, "Wyatt Earp is my friend." "Yeah, I got lots of friends." "I don't." As like I said in my best man speech, you know, I can count on one hand the people I consider true blue friends, and that list starts with Ryder Pride. But anyway, we're getting off topic here. Val Kilmer put in an amazing performance as Doc Holliday. And like I said, I kind of rank Val Kilmer in there with Tom Cruise. Yeah, sure, he has a few good movies. He gets a lot of flack for being Batman, but come on. George Clooney was way worse. I thought so, at least. I mean, nobody's ever going to beat Michael Keaton or Christian Bale, for that matter. Michael Keaton and Christian Bale, my two favorite Batman. So, but yeah, Val Kilmer puts in an amazing performance from start to finish, and that ending had just me. When he's telling Wyatt to go live his life, it's just, you feel it. You feel it right here when he's telling him that. So that is why Doc Holliday is my all-time favorite character from a list of great characters. Like I said, these last three, Ed, Tig, and Doc Holliday, were so friggin' hard to choose from, but I had to pick, and I think I made the right choice for my top three. But what do you think? Who are some of your favorite characters from film and TV? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd really love to read your opinion. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. In the description, you're going to see a link to all my social media and all the ways you can help support the channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Reddit. You can go to the Redbubble store. You can pick up all your Irish Bandit merchandise. My first novel, Shade Falling, is now available on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can pick it up for free. So you have options there. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever a brand new video goes live. I will be back on Tuesday with a brand new booking video on how I would book Theory's Money in the Bank run. We've already seen him start it or try to cash it in at SummerSlam. Was unsuccessful there, but I'll tell you how I would do it. And then coming up next Thursday, I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite performances by just a wonderful actor, one of my all-time favorites in Tom Hanks, talking about my 5 favorite performances of his. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to have something very, very new coming out. It's going to be called The Pitch, where I'm going to pitch an S Club 7 reunion. And if you didn't see, Retro Reimagined will be coming, but it won't be coming until September 5th. I still have to finalize at least one more booking. I'm still thinking, I got wrestling on the brain. One more cast decision before I continue on with the script. I've already got the script started, but I still need to cast one more role before I really get into the script. So I'm going to give it a little more time. It's still coming. It's coming in September though. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for joining me for this video. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon.